Kahalayimla, Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Arakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of GMS. Peace, love, and salutations to the Bayat Wadah, the house of David. I'm the brother Zion out of GMS Boston. Once again, I'm Lord willing through the Spirit. This is edifying. So this is going to be another GMS lesson in transit as I make my way down to the city. Coming from work, you know, Esau got us slaving, man. Got our pockets holy. Alright, and that's literal holes, man, because every dollar we get, we gotta give back to these devils. Nonetheless, this lesson is gonna be a lesson to remind brothers, man, to stay on your toes. Alright, and don't get caught out of bounds. Don't get caught out of bounds, alright? Stay on the field. Keep your eyes singular. Stay focused. Alright? We have a job, and that's watchmen, that's prophets. Alright? And first things first is our Father's business. Alright? First things first is our Father's business. And we are to be meditating on His prophecies and on His laws. Alright? Praying without ceasing. Alright? Looking after the flock. Because again, that's our occupation, that's our job. You may be a construction worker, you may work at Amazon, you may drive Uber. That's not your job. That's what you do. That's what you're forced to do in this world, to make a living, to pay bills. Your occupation, all right, your real occupation, I should say, is to be a prophet. So with no further ado, it's gonna be hard for me to read scriptures, all right? But when I get a chance, let me sneak this one in, right? Because the lesson will be predicated based off of this scripture right here. And this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 38. All right? For as the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, married and given into marriage, until that day that Noah entered into the ark. All right? I'll read 39. Verse 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. All right. So what is the scripture talking about? In the days of Noah, they were eating and drinking. What is the Lord telling you here? What is He saying here? That's why it's so important to understand the spirit of the Lord of the scriptures, to think spiritually. Because what are we supposed to do? Not eat and drink in the last days? That's not what that scripture is talking about, right? But what's to be checked if you're a man of the Lord, all right? If you're in a camp and the spirit that you're coming in is very important, because this is exactly what it's talking about. Are you in the spirit of eating and drinking, married and giving into marriage? What does that mean? You're not gonna lie down with your woman? You're not gonna have a wife? No, man. It's talking about what spirit you coming in. And you gotta watch that spirit, man. You gotta watch the spirit you coming in, because you may find yourself at events, at places that you even yourself you hate. Paul said, basically, roughly paraphrasing, the things that he does, some things that he hate. You know, the things that he don't want to do, he do. The things that he do want to do, he don't. Going into what? Basically the war that you have with your flesh. You know, and just you not being in real control here, right? Your spirit not being able to exercise its righteousness, being in this wicked flesh. All right, so Yahweh Shai went to weddings and events and things of that nature, and he cussed people out. Likewise, the son of you find yourself somewhere cussing people out. You know, but what spirit are you coming in is the number one thing, man. You gotta check yourself. You can't get comfortable on a slippery slope. Don't ever get comfortable on a slippery slope. The scriptures say, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Alright? And we know what? That this ain't our rest. You know? This ain't our rest, man. Alright? This ain't our rest. Okay? This is the land of our captivity. I will put here to suffer. And the reason why people in the world are heading for damnation because they lack understanding in this, man. Right? They lack understanding in this, and they try to use excuses or try to go on the scripture to justify the spirit that they coming in. Sometimes it's not a law for a thing that you're doing, all right, but the spirit is off, meaning and the timing is off. Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, is the time and the place underneath the heaven for everything, right? So there's a time to dance, there's a time to laugh, there's a time to be cheerful, and you got to check those, just checks and balances. Is what the scriptures really is. To the Son of Men, to the beloved, all right, to the chosen, to the Israel that are of Israel, all right, to Yasharallah. You gonna know when something is off, man. Your heart rate start increasing, and that's that knowledge, that fear, because you've been given this truth, and you know the difference between right and wrong. All things lawful, some things lawful, everything's not expedient. Everything's not expedient. So just checks and balances, man. Just a warning to you, brothers. Just, stay focused. We live in the last days. A lot of prophecies is kicking off. Satan is trying to sift. Satan is trying to sift and do what he do. So we got to make sure that we doing what we do. All right? Shalom.